And law enforcement officials are warning citizens about scams relating to the hailstorm the Tennessee Valley experienced earlier this week.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
Thank you for joining us for Eyewitness News at 6. I'm Cindy Sexton.
And I'm David Carroll. Here's what's happening. As you see behind us, major headaches for commuters in Atlanta after a massive fire caused a bridge on a major interstate to collapse during yesterday's rush hour.
As authorities investigate why the fire started, officials say it'll take months and millions of dollars to rebuild. Channel 3's Michelle Herron spent the day looking into what transportation leaders in our area are doing to make sure a similar situation wouldn't happen here.
Georgia transportation leaders don't blame Thursday's massive fire on materials being stored under Interstate 85. They say it's not uncommon for states to store materials under bridges, but we found out that Tennessee is not one of those states. While investigators work to figure out what caused this massive fire under a bridge in Atlanta.
It's no different than having a plastic cup in your cupboard. It does not ignite. It takes something to cause something like that to burn. Transportation
crews in Tennessee are making sure the same recipe for disaster isn't waiting to happen in the Tennessee Valley.
Just one spark could set something off.
Jennifer Flynn with the Tennessee Department of Transportation says crews were out Friday checking under bridges to make sure there weren't any materials being stored.
TDOT doesn't allow any materials stored on a permanent basis under their structures, but it doesn't mean that that's not happening somewhere.
TDOT does store equipment under bridges during construction projects, but only temporarily. Transportation leaders in Georgia say the materials being stored under I-85 are common in traffic management.
And it is part of where we have stored construction materials, specifically high-density plastic conduit, which is non-combustible.
Tennessee transportation crews do know the impact fire can have on bridges. Flynn says a bridge in Williamson County had to be shut down when a fiery crash burned so hot it damaged the bridge's structure.
It could damage the concrete and it can melt the rebar, which is the metal material that reinforces the concrete. So things like that, I mean, it can happen if the heat is hot enough. It can do a lot of damage.
The damage in Atlanta spans 2.5 football fields and will take months and millions to replace. TDOT says if they find materials being stored under bridges that shouldn't be there, they will ask the owner to remove them or they'll remove it themselves. In the studio, I'm Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Michelle. We are still waiting to find out what will be done with the Cheeseburger building that partially collapsed this week. Today, the fire marshal, city inspectors, and the owner met to talk about what's next.
And as Channel 3's Lori Mitchell found out, they're waiting on a recommendation from engineers. Here's Lori with more.
The building sits in the middle of a busy, high-traffic, tourist-filled area, so city officials are pushing to do something with it soon.
Here's what's left of the Cheeseburger building after it came crashing down on Wednesday, leaving a big mess and shutting down one lane on Market Street. The question now is what to do with it.
That's ultimately up to the property owner to make that decision on what he wants to do with his property.
The property owner, George Vols, has two choices: try to save part of the building or tear it all down. Chattanooga Fire Marshal William Matlock tells me the building's future hinges on an engineer's judgment. Walls hired a private company to take a closer look at the property, and they're hoping to have that information in the next couple of days. Matlock says demolition could begin at the site as early as next week.
With the location being downtown where it is, we have a high traffic area with pedestrians, we have high traffic with vehicles. You know, obviously we want to do something. We want to open the roads back up as soon as possible. So
138 Market Street is one of the oldest buildings in Chattanooga, built in 1876 as a flour mill. Channel 3 learned city inspectors visited the property last Friday. They discovered structural problems and issued a 15-day correction notice, but the building didn't last long. Right now, gates and cages are blocking it off. City officials believe it's structurally sound, but they don't want to take any chances, and they want a decision made quickly.
According to property records, George Vols bought the building back in 1972. He turned it into a car dealership and an auto showroom. And at that time, he paid $50,000 for it. In the studio, I'm Lori Mitchell, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Lori. Chattanooga police are searching for whoever is connected to an afternoon shooting today on Alton Park Boulevard.
The man who was shot is seriously hurt. Channel 3's Kate Smith joins us live now with an update for us. Kate?
Currently, Chattanooga police are looking for a silver Ford Expedition. They believe that driver may have a connection with today's shooting. Chattanooga police tell us that the victim's car crashed into a light pole right in front of the Alton Park Church of Christ. Before being taken to the hospital, the man was able to talk with Chattanooga police and medical personnel about what happened. Chattanooga police say they have witnesses who saw today's shooting.
There was an off-duty law enforcement officer in the area when the shooting occurred. He is one of the witnesses that the investigators are speaking to.
This is the second shooting to happen near the Alton Park community within the last 24 hours. Yesterday, one person was shot near the 3400 block of Hughes Street around 5:30 yesterday evening. It's not clear how that person is doing right now. Anyone with any information about either of these crimes are asked to contact the Chattanooga police at 698-2525. And of course, once we have new information, we will be sure to pass that along to you. But for now, I'm live in Chattanooga. Kate Smith, Channel 3. Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kate. And as she mentioned, there was a shooting yesterday as well on Hughes Avenue near Alton Park. It happened just before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Chattanooga police have not released any other information regarding this crime. Stay with us. We'll have updates as soon as we're able to get them. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, Tad Cummins and Elizabeth Thomas have been seen in Oklahoma. We have the latest on the search in that Amber Alert case.
All the doctors that help you are very nice. Nobody looks down on anybody, just come get yourself taken care of. That's what they're here for.
Remote Area Medical is having a free health clinic this weekend in Cleveland, and folks are already lining up.
Beautiful weekend is shaping up across the Tennessee Valley. Things are looking great. I've got all the details on my 7-day forecast.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 in HD.
The TBI released new information today in the nationwide search for a Tennessee teenager.
Agents confirmed Elizabeth Thomas and her former teacher Tad Cummins were spotted at a Walmart in Oklahoma City just 2 days after she went missing. Now the pictures show Cummins with noticeably darker hair, and in these pictures the young lady appears to have red hair. Now, authorities say Cummins used cash to buy several food items, didn't really buy anything of significance. Thomas disappeared on March 13th after a friend dropped her off at the Shoney's in Columbia, Tennessee. Now, according to the TBI, there have not been any confirmed sightings since that Walmart video you saw there, which was recorded March 15th in Oklahoma. If you have any information that can help in this case, call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Now, a warning from authorities about possible scams related to the recent hailstorm. Scammers will target communities following natural disasters, and we have some things to look for. Don't pay for any work up front. Also, beware of any contractor who tries to rush you or comes to your home to solicit work. Get 3 written estimates if you can, compare the bids, and check the credentials. Now, for car repairs, shop around and compare written estimates. On major jobs, always get a second opinion. And beware of charity scams that use disasters to make phony pleas for donations sound legitimate. As always, any suspected fraud should immediately be reported to law enforcement.
A Chattanooga woman has died from injuries received in a house fire last month. 78-year-old Bessie Whiteside was rescued by Chattanooga firefighters from her burning home on North Hickory Street. She suffered from burns and severe smoke inhalation. The cause of that fire remains under investigation.
A man wanted for the death of a Cleveland man is in a Bradley County jail. Sean Hale was extradited to Cleveland. He was arrested in Fort Payne, Alabama Wednesday, one day after police went public with a warrant for his arrest in the murder of Thomas Creek Jr. Creek's body was found dumped in a ravine in the Cherokee National Forest Monday, 2 weeks after he had last been seen.
Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, East Ridge city leaders are working to expand the public transportation offered there. They are hoping to add more bus routes.
And we've had a great day to spend outdoors. I know what you're wondering. Will the weekend be like this? Paul Barris has the answers for you when we come back.
All right, get out and enjoy the beautiful weekend and then start your Monday morning off with us on Channel 3 Eyewitness News today. Find out what happened overnight while you were sleeping. We'll check in live with Michelle and Tim.
And in Monday's 3 in Your Town, we kind of expand our horizons to the Huntsville Botanical Garden as they introduce a very new and beautiful centerpiece. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll see you starting at 4:30 a.m.
The city of East Ridge is taking a look at how to better meet the transportation needs for people living in the area.
The question, they want to know if adding more bus routes is something people would actually use. Here's Channel 3's Tim Pham.
The city of East Ridge currently has 4 bus routes that go up and down Ringgold Road, but that could soon change. With a bag in each hand, Merrill Johnson walks several miles to get food for his family. He's one of many East Ridge residents pushing to add more bus routes around the city.
I think it would be a good idea for them because it's a lot better for them for walking and stuff, and they can't hardly get around, you know. And I believe that would be the good thing to do right there.
CARTA provided bus services for East Ridge more than 3 decades ago, but they stopped operations because there wasn't enough money to support it. Recently, city leaders contacted CARTA to get input about the current system.
Is that satisfactory? Is there other services that they want connection to? Is there other type of services that CARTA needs to provide or transportation needs to be provided?
Thursday, the city and CARTA held a public meeting. About 50 people showed up and expressed how they think the bus system could be improved. Scott Miller is East Ridge city manager. He says it was clear the people living in the city want more options to support the needs of the disabled in the community.
Is the bus service that we're providing on Ringgold Road, is that something we need to continue, or is that something we need to enhance? Do we need to put more emphasis on transportation for the disabled?
CARTA and the city of East Ridge are in the process of collecting data to see where to put the bus routes and who would foot the bill.
So when you talk about cost of transportation, someone's going to bear that cost, whether it's on the local level, whether it's a fee-based, or whether it's a grant through the federal government. We don't know that.
Whatever the outcome, Johnson is glad the city is taking steps to help those in need, including himself.
I would want it to be on it and help me, get around and stuff.
The city hopes to have a proposal of where the new routes will be in the near future. Reporting in East Ridge, Tim Pham, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now, the bus routes that currently run in East Ridge are funded by a grant that will expire in August of next year. Well, here's one of those stories that people often find out about after the fact, and they say, why didn't we know about this? So help us spread the word on this one. If you need to see a doctor or you know someone who needs to see a doctor, that can happen for free this weekend in Cleveland. Remote Area Medical is having a free health clinic tomorrow and Sunday.
And as you would know, thousands of people will be there. Already, many are showing up to snag a place in line at Cleveland High School. The school is hosting this year's RAM Clinic. The school's volleyball gym and several other rooms will be filled with 28 dentists, 8 general medical doctors, and about 18 vision providers. Principal Autumn O'Brien says everything is mapped out for the weekend. One couple showed up early this afternoon. They want to be among the first to see a doctor.
It's a wonderful thing for people that are low income, that fall through the cracks, that don't have any medical. If you can get to these clinics, they're the best thing you can do.
Starting tonight at midnight, people will be able to take their place in line. RAM volunteers will start handing out ticket numbers at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Care is given on a first-come, first-served basis. They are ready for it.
Yes, they are.
All right, time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Paul Barris. Oh boy, the makings of an outstanding weekend, wouldn't you say?
Tell us something good, Paul. How about it?
Oh, it's going to be fine this weekend now. It's going to be even better than today. Today was a little breezy, and we had some of these clouds. These are leftover clouds of a big snowstorm, actually, that's going on in New England right now, and a rainstorm with severe weather well out to the east of us. This is from the Holiday Inn downtown cam, and we're looking at all that rain again off to the east. A tornado on the ground just south of Norfolk, Virginia right now. Snow north of Boston up into the mountains. Really nothing around here except for the clouds. And out west there's a pretty good snowstorm going on in some of the higher elevations. It's 69 right now in the city, 66 Dayton, and 66 in Cleveland. Dalton is 68 and 60 in Murphy. Winds out of the west at about 11 miles per hour. 70 the high, 50-60 the overnight low. Just about a tenth of an inch of rain fell at the airport. But the Skywatchers came in with about 2/10 from Lafayette, Dalton, Calhoun, 3/10 in Chatsworth and Ford Mountain and LOJ, about 4/10 in Varnell. Right across the metro area, we had 3/10 in Red Bank, Lakeside, Soddy Daisy. And by the way, Al Clayton, my Skywatcher in Soddy Daisy, happy birthday. It's his big day today. Mowbray Mountain, 6/10 of an inch of rain. Well, it was only 2/10. Lookout Mountain and Ringgold. And they get to about 4/10 out near Cleveland. Out towards Murphy, we had about 7/10 of an inch of rain. Same thing up near Spring City, 7/10. But Delano had 4/10. So did Riceville, 6/10 up in 10 Mile. Athens, about a half inch of rain, only about a third of an inch from Cagle Mountain to Dunlap, and 2/10 from Dayton to Pikeville. We had about a third of an inch in Colmont and 2/10 near Jasper. Latest Vipercast is showing again the clouds lifting for tomorrow. That means full sunshine coming back Light northwesterly wind looking very nice. All eyes start to look towards Texas as another little wave, and a pretty powerful one, brings lots of rain out to Texas, moves off toward the north and northeast. This line of thunderstorms out ahead of it along the Mississippi River Valley by Monday morning. And then into Monday night, these showers and storms will be moving our way, could be late in the day too. This is going to be what we call a cutoff low. That means it's going to be swirling on its own. So the timing on this is still questionable, but it looks like the latter part of Monday. And then some leftover showers coming up on Tuesday. And I think there's a real good chance you could see up to an inch to maybe an inch and a half of rain out of some of this if we can get those thunderstorms in here. But tonight, 47 and just a few scattered clouds. For tomorrow, 72 with sunshine, a beautiful day after a few morning clouds. Tomorrow night, clear and 47 again with light winds. 7-day forecast, Sunday, 79. But on Monday, it's still questionable exactly when, but it looks like the second half of Monday, showers and storms likely. Showers will be ending on Tuesday. Wednesday looks fine, 81, and then some more rain on Thursday, ending on Friday, but we get a big cool down for the end of next week.
Well, we'll enjoy the weekend.
Beautiful
How about that?
weekend.
And the cool temperatures feel so good today.
It does,
Yeah.
it does. It's still springtime. It's not supposed to be summer yet.
Well, we'll get enough of that later.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. In sports, up next, a pro day in Knoxville for Vol Nation to be proud of.
Yeah, Paul Shaheen was talking about this. Said they haven't had one of those in, what, maybe 3 years or so?
Yeah, give or take 3 years. Yeah, they didn't have anybody drafted the past 2 seasons. We're going to explain why exactly Vol Nation should be so proud. But in the meantime, we'll just say the entire NFL was there today. We'll hear from top NFL target Derek Barnett. It's all straight ahead in sports. Prior to 2015, the last time the Tennessee Volunteers did not have a single player drafted was 1963. Last year marked a second straight year without a player taken in the NFL draft. We all knew that drought would end this year. And if you needed a sign for the first time in quite some time, Tennessee had all 32 NFL teams at their pro day, many of which were represented by head coaches.
It means everything, and I think it's a great illustration of how far we've come in this football program. And again, to have center stage like this, and it's all of our players. You know, they've earned that right today. They deserve it. And the great thing is they embraced the competition, and they did exceptionally well.
The Vols had 24 players work out today at Pro Day. Of course, a few of the marquee names, the quarterback, Josh Dobbs, who threw a crisp and precise 59 planned passes. Alvin Kamara, running back, wideout Josh Malone, and Derek Barnett. Dobbs, Kamara, and Malone did not run the 40. They did that at the Combine. Barnett did run it, an unofficial 4.9 seconds. Barnett, though, worked out while still nursing that injured hamstring.
I think I have 3 great years of film playing here. I think I went through this training pretty good, and now it's up to the teams to make a decision. Yeah, I hope it impressed some scouts. I'm not sure, but like I said, it was a big job interview, so I needed to go through that. Some days on game day, I'm not gonna feel good. I still got to play, so it is what it is.
It's likely Alabama will have more than half of its starting 11 on defense drafted in the first 2 days next month. And it is not the first time. But when 5 stars fill your depth chart, it becomes less of an issue. Case in point, senior Rashaan Evans, a 5-star that lurked in the shadows for 3 seasons, now ready to embrace that veteran role at linebacker.
It's kind of crazy the fact that, I am an older guy now. It feel like just yesterday that I was a freshman coming in and seeing guys like Reuben Foster, Reggie Ragland, Trader Priest, just older guys that were always, there, and also just the lead, and to have that type of position now to be able to do the same things they're doing is crazy, man. But I'm definitely up for the task.
Evans went on to talk about defensive coordinator Jeremy Pruitt and the changes he expects from Pruitt in year 2. Evans said the Tide started to blitz a lot more late last season in the playoffs, and he expects that to continue. To the hardwood we go. The Madness picks back up tonight. The women's Final Four takes center stage with 2 SEC teams involved. South Carolina and Stanford kick off at 7:30. And then it's the UConn women with Mississippi State at 9:30. Tough draw for Mississippi State. Tomorrow, it's the men's Final Four in Phoenix with 1 SEC team still alive. That's South Carolina, 7 seed, playing the 1 seed, Gonzaga, at 6:09. The nightcap on Saturday is Oregon and North Carolina at 8:49. And quickly, anyone up for an evening with Phil Fulmer? Sure, why not? The Saudi Daisy Quarterback Club is hosting an evening with Fulmer Tuesday, May 2nd at the Stratton Hall downtown. General admission with a dinner goes for $50. Of course, there's VIP meet and greet tickets for $100. I was supposed to say right now, call the number on your screen for tickets. The number is not there, so I'll do you one better. I'll put it on the website.
Good.
At some point after this show.
Be good to see him.
And how about tonight is the first exhibition game at SunTrust Park in Atlanta, Braves and Yankees. I don't know if
now, you'll get there next week.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can see the game except on TV, I guess. But still a big night for Braves fans,
it is
for sure. Paul, thank you.
All right, Paul Bears.
All right, well, take a look at your evening out. We got just a fine night coming up. Temperatures are going to be just about perfect. Let's go evening out. There we go. We got 69 right now currently, and coming up at around 9 o'clock, 61. And by midnight, about 56. It's a beautiful night.
Thanks, Paul. Have a great evening.
Be safe driving. We'll see you later. NBC News is next.